Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Namah Vishnupadaya Krishnaprestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesa Shunyavadi Pashyata Desata. नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौर तुसे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा. So we welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we discussed yesterday from chapter 2 and verse 23. Nainam chintanti sastrani, nainam dahati pavaka, na chainam gletyantapo, na soshyati maruta. So in this verse, Lord Krishna is telling, the soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. So this is the characteristics of the soul, that it cannot be affected by any kind of material uh, interaction of material elements. So this is one of the most important characteristics. Soul is unchangeable, and fortunately, we are that soul. One should be, one should become very jubilant after hearing this very fact that our real identity is we are a spirit soul, and that spirit soul is unchangeable by nature. That is its characteristics. It can never be cut to pieces by any kind of weapon. It cannot be burned by fire. No kind of material elements can change the spirit soul. And also, we are Aja, Nitya, Shashvato, eternal beings. We have never taken birth. There was never a time when we were not in existence, and there will never be a time when we will not be into existence. So this should actually make us very jubilant and happy, and give us enthusiasm to revive our that original characteristics, being the spirit soul. So that's why Lord Krishna is very mercifully, in great detail, is explaining to us these wonderful characteristics of the soul. The only reason is that he wants us to encourage us, make us enthusiastic for performing a devotional service very sincerely. But unfortunately, those who cannot understand the intention of the Supreme Lord, either they become this subject matter, these kinds of discussions, either it becomes boring, or they misunderstand it and misunderstand Krishna and understand something else. Mayavad misconceptions. But Krishna is telling, Nayanam Chindanti Sastrani. This one line is itself sufficient to refute all the Mayavad misconception. Nayanam Chindanti Sastrani. That means the soul can never be cut to pieces. That means the Mayavad misconception that when this material manifestation happens, we we become entangled in this material world, and we become separated from Brahman. Uh, that means we are cut from Brahman to become fragmental parts. But as soon as we become liberated, again these fragmental parts will go and merge into the Supreme Brahman. But this is not accepted here by the Supreme Lord. He says, Na enam chindanti sastrani. Enam refers to the spirit soul, and that also refers to the Supreme Spirit Soul, Supreme Brahman. Because qualitatively the same qualities are there, Brahman and Supreme Brahman. Both of them will have the same quality. So it cannot be cut into pieces. That means Supreme Brahman also cannot be cut into pieces to become many unlimited, minute Brahman. This is what is their biggest misconception is. Because when it is asked that the Supreme Brahman It is above all dualities, and it is above. It cannot be affected by the illusory conception. So how it has become this small living entities, parts and particles? Hare Krishna. So so they say that the living minute fragmental spirit soul is separated from supreme spirit soul, supreme Brahman. And that's why it becomes entangled in this material existence. But as soon as following some process, one becomes liberated from this misconception that I belong to this material world, then again it will go and merge into the supreme Brahman. Then no more entanglement. So this misconception is refuted here by the Supreme Lord Krishna by stating that Nayanam Chindanti Sastrani. This Enam, this is spirit soul, the spiritual substance, spiritual elements cannot be cut into pieces. So there was never a time when we were not into existence, we were not in existence, and at some point of time, the supreme Brahman was cut into so many fragmental pieces known as living entities. So this theory is not accepted. Another way to understand this first line is Nayanam Chindanti Sastrani. That means the soul cannot be cut into pieces. That implies the soul cannot merge also, because something which cannot be cut, that cannot be merged also in some other object, because merging means also the same thing, just like cutting object and then adding it. So you can only add two objects if there is characteristics of uh, being cut. If if some object has this characteristic that it can be cut into pieces, then only you can again rejoin it. So if the soul has no such characteristics that it can be cut into pieces, so there is no possibility that the soul can be rejoined again to the Supreme Brahman. So that means the conclusion is the Supreme Brahman remains Supreme Brahman as it is uh, all the time, eternally. Aja, Nitya, Shashvata also refers in the previous verse which we discussed day before yesterday. Krishna says, no, not previous, verse number 20. Na jayate mriyate va kadachit. The spirit soul and both kinds of spirit soul. Supreme spirit, supreme Brahman, the super soul, and the minute living entity is spirit soul, insignificant spirit souls, we both of us, we never take birth, nor do we die at any point of time. So Aja means unborn, Nitya means eternal, Shashvata means permanent. So this is our characteristics. That means both the Supreme Brahman and the minute Brahman, spirit soul, and the Supreme Spirit soul, both of them are in existence eternally. This is a this is the version of all the scriptures, not only Bhagavad Gita. Of course, Gita is the highest accepted, authorized book of knowledge, as good as Vedic literature. There's no difference. As much as Vedas are 100% accepted by the followers of Sanatan Dharma, similarly, Bhagavad Gita also has same kind of acceptance. Nobody can defy, nobody can put any argument over the verses of Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita clearly explains this. And not only Bhagavad Gita, there are many other Upanishads, Svetasvatara Upanishad, Katha Upanishad, uh, Srila Prabhupada quotes multiple times, and then many other Puranas also there. So this is the conclusion of all the scriptures. The Supreme Brahman as well as this Jiva Brahman, both the Brahman, both the living entities, supreme spirit soul and minute spirit soul. Both of them are individually in existence eternally. In the history also, they were there. At the present also, they are always existence. In the future also, they remain existing individually. So there is no question of merging into each other. There is no question of this false misconception that we can become as good as Supreme Brahman. That's not possible. We are what we are, and the Supreme Brahman is always Supreme Brahman. So Nayanam Chindanti Sastrani. Nayanam De Dahati Pavaka. It cannot be burnt by fire. Na Chayanam Predyanto Apo. So the second line refers proves that Nayanam Dahati Pavaka. So material scientists they think that there is life only on this earthly planet. Why? Why only on earthly planet? Have you visited all the planets? Have you gone to sun planet? No. Have you taken some recordings, videos that you say that there is no living entities in sun planet? No, no proof. Without any proof, without any observation, they simply state that there is no life on other planets. How can you say? You haven't gone there and you haven't observed anything about other planets. How can you say? So this is called cheating. This is not teaching. This is cheating. If something you don't know, better you don't speak. That is proper way. If you know about anything with certainty, then you may speak. Suppose if somebody asks me that where is such and such location in Mumbai, so I may be living in Mumbai for many years, but if I don't know, so I should simply say no, no, I don't know. You ask somebody else. But if I think that oh, I am living in Mumbai for many years, if I say I don't know, that my reputation will go down. What he will think. Uh, So this is nonsense. This is cheating. Similarly, those scientists, we are not against scientists. There are many scientists who frankly admit, who accept the existence of God. So they are nice, good scientists. But those atheistic scientists we are talking about. So if you don't know, and actually you don't know anything. I'm not saying I am nothing in front of them. They are very intelligent, accepted fact. But the greatest of the scientists, they themselves accept this fact. The greatest of the scientists are Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein are accepted as father of science. They are considered to be greatest scientists. So they have accepted these facts. Albert Einstein says, my knowledge about this cosmos, this manifestation, material manifestation is like that is he gives example, analogy. Just like a small child who have never been to a school, who has never studied anything, not even a alphabetical letter ABCD, he enters into a big library he enters, and he sees that there are many books. Many books are there. So he knows that something is written within these books, and but I don't know what is written. I cannot read it. But he knows only that somebody has given so much knowledge and written so many books. This much he knows. So that Albert Einstein says, this is my condition. I'm like that small child. After doing all the research and observations, my scientific discoveries, everything, I have come to this conclusion that this material manifestation, material world, has been designed, has been written by a perfect brain very nicely. But what it is, I don't. I only can say that this is not by chance. Somebody, some big brain, very intelligent brain, has designed everything, each and every part of this cosmos. Whether you go to micro level or you go to macro level. Micro level means you go down. Huh? You go down at biological level, you study about the cells, huh? Unicellular, uh, bicellular, multiple cellular living entities are there. And you go and you study. Those who are biology students, they know even within the cell, uh, there is so much complexity. It is said a single cell, like that, there are many trillions and trillions of cells are there within our body. If a single cell, it is so complex, so very the arrangement within the cell is so complex that it is more complex as far as managerial point of view is concerned. It is more complex than the New York City. I heard this. Some scientists they have explained like this. So such just imagine. So beginning from the smallest unit of the body, a small cell, and for dead material objects, a smallest atom, and up to the greatest galaxies and universe. Everything is very nicely, well planned, well managed, and everything is governed by precise laws given by the God, laws of science, laws of thermodynamics, laws of optics, laws of motion, so many laws. So that proves that somebody is some great personality, supremely intelligent. That's why Albert Einstein says this. Behind this cosmic manifestation means this material existence is known as cosmos, the technical name of those who are scientific students, they know. This technical name of this universe is cosmos. So this entire cosmic manifestation, behind this cosmic manifestation, there is perfect brain. This is accepted by Albert Einstein. Perfect brain means there must be some person who has the brain. A person, there must be some person who has the brain and who acts. That is God. Simple definition. Simple. And Albert Einstein and Isaac Newton also says the same thing. Similar statements. He says that whatever research I am doing, I have done, it's nothing in comparison to the mystery the universe has within. It's like I'm like a small child who is counting the small dust particles, pebbles at the shore of the ocean and trying to understand what is this ocean. Uh, although I'm unable to go inside the ocean, the vast amount of arrangement within the ocean is completely hidden from my sight. I don't know anything about this. If you just stand at the shore of the ocean, what you see? You see only water, water, water. Uh, so from just at distance when you stand, you can only see water. You cannot understand within the water there is actually a kingdom. Aquatics life are there. Aquatic kingdom is there. Even now also, using all the technological advancement, nobody exactly knows how many species are there within water. What to speak of knowing all these things? Uh, I heard at present nobody even knows that how much what is the depth of the ocean exactly. Nobody knows. If you cannot even know the depth of the ocean, then how can you understand what kind of living entities are residing within the ocean, how they are living, what kind of food wave cycle they are following, how they are surviving, what is their management? How can you know? Nothing we know. And if you don't know about this small unit ocean, which is a part of this earthly planet, and which this earthly planet is just a smallest particle in this universe, then how can we say that within this universe, how can we give our judgment? I can conclude that there is no life on other planets. You don't even know about the earthly planets completely, and what is within the ocean. First, you try to understand whether there is life within the ocean or not. You first of all you go and count all the species within the ocean. Jalaja no, what we know from Padma Puran, it is stated Jalaja no lakshani sthavara laksha vimshati. Huh? Jalaja means Jalaja. Ja means taking birth. Jal, those who take birth within the water. So such kind of living entities, aquatics, known as aquatics, are no lakshani. 9 lakhs species are there within the water. Just imagine. And how much we have found, material scientists. You can Google. So somebody, you Google and let me know the data. You search in the Google total number of aquatics. You search and let me know how many they have found. Uh, and and then so many. Jalaja no lakshani. Isthavara laksha vimshati. Laksha vimshati means 20 lakhs. Isthavara. Isthavara means those who cannot move. That means trees, plants, creepers. Uh, trees, plants and creepers. 20 lakhs varieties. Different varieties are there. And then in this way, 84 lakhs species have been divided like this. So we get complete information from the scriptures, and those scriptures they give us guidance that there are life in each and every planet, not just in each and every planet, each and every part of the universe there is life. Lord Krishna will speak about this. It's the Sarvagataha. Sarvagataha means living entities are spread throughout the universe, whether it is land, water, air, everything, everywhere. No space is vacant without living entities. Even within the stone, there are living entities. If you break a stone, you may find some kind of insect. And sometimes from the stone, the plants come out. How is it possible? That means within the stone also some kind of living entities are residing. So just imagine if within the stone living entities can live, if within the air living entities can live, and if within the water living entities can live, why not within the air? What is this logic? So Prabhupada says like this. What is this nonsense logic? Yeah, that living entities can live only on Earth 3 planet, not on fire. Why not on fire? If very simple fact, if living entities can live on water, within the water, they can living entities, they take birth in the water, they live their life, entire life in the water, and then they leave their bodies in the water. They don't come out of the water. So everything, all their life, they are living in the water. So if there are living entities within the water, there are living entities on the surface of the earth, and within the surface, within the earth also there are living entities. So earth, water, air, there are living entities within the air. Why not fire? What mistake this fire has done? Why not fire? And it is also proved here in this verse. Nainam chindanti sasrani nanam dati pavaka. So dati pavaka, the fire cannot burn any living entity. That means the spirit soul can take birth anywhere. The spirit sarvagata, that will come in the coming verses. The living entities are sarvagata. That the all living entities exist all over the universe. The fire cannot burn it. This is the meaning, another meaning. Mataji has stated 2,42,000. Just imagine. Padma Puran says there are 9 lakh species of aquatics, and till now, the scientists have discovered only 2,42,000. How much behind we are? Not even, you can say 20%, 25%, maybe 25%, you can assume. So what this is our status about this earthly planet. Just data, information about the number of species. We only know 25% of the species present on the earthly planet. And then there is a lot more to know about all these living entities. Then how can we say that there are no living entities on other planets? This is all nonsense. Those who think like this. So anyway, so Nanam Chindanti, the soul cannot be burned, soul cannot be cut, soul cannot be dried up. So this proves that the soul can exist anywhere and everywhere. This is what uh, the conclusion is. Nanam Dahati Pavaka, fire. That means living entities can take birth within the fire. And it's very logical. Srila Prabhupada explains it very with simple logic. Just like we have taken birth on this earthly planet, so our body is made of earth element prominently. Our body is earthly body. This is skin, bones, and everything. This is earthly substance are prominent, and water is prominent. So similarly, those who take birth within the water, so their bodily features, that is watery body, slippery body, water content is more. And similarly, those who take birth on the fiery condition, so their body is fiery. Their body, they get fiery body. Fiery body means the fire substance is more, so it can endure there. It cannot be burnt. Fire, how fire can burn fire? So that's why even on the sun planet there are living entities. There are human beings also. Human beings, they are not known as human beings. They are demigods, better version of human beings, you can say. And we from Bhagavad Gita we even know the name of the personality who is ruling over the sun planet, sun god, Surya Devata, sun god. The name of sun god is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Evam vivasvate yogam vivasvan. We also know the name of the king who is ruling over sun planet, Vivaswan. So this is our scriptures. So there are life on the sun planet, fire, and later on, even some scientists they have discovered this some kind of bacteria known as microbes. So some kind of bacteria are there within fire. This has been proved. So that proves that even within fire, the living entities they, can reside. The living entity can live. So, thermophiles. Our biology student has come. पहले आना चाहिए था बहुत कुछ कोड कर सकते थे thermophile. Okay, no problem. So thermophiles, you can search. There are bacteria like this who exist within the fire. So why not on the sun planet? What is the big deal? So similar, that's why this verse Krishna is speaking, which this proves that the soul can live in any kind of condition without any harm. So I think we'll stop here. We'll read the purport tomorrow and discuss more about this. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can ask. Yes, Ankita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Danvat Pranam. Prabhu, as in this shloka, you have told that it can be burned, it can be cut, and all those things. So, can a soul can be jailed into something like soul, yet it is in our body. So, it is jailed or what means?
Yeah, those living entities who are conditioned, they are jailed within this material atmosphere, material body, because of their disobedience to the Supreme Lord. But as soon as a living entity soul decides to obey the orders of the Supreme Lord, it can get relieved of this all these things. And just like those citizens who do not obey the laws of government, they are jailed within the bars. And but as soon as they become reformed, then they can come out again. Similarly, the spirit souls, we have rebelled against God, we have disobeyed His instructions and laws. That's why we are put into this material conditioning, which is like a jail. And this material world is known as Durga or jail. But we can come out of it by following the orders of the Supreme Lord. Okay, what is core idea of Mayavad philosophy? Okay, Mayavad philosophy is very simple. Mayavad philosophers, they think or they just imagine that the spirit soul is as good as the supreme spirit soul, God. Or when the God appears in this material world, it assumes the God, he assumes this material body and his all his paraphernalia, his name, fame, qualities, paraphernalia, his devotees, his dham, and his objects, everything. This is all manifestation of material world. So they say the whatever is personal form of God and anything objects paraphernalia related with God. So it is the transformation of mode of goodness, which is a material mode. So this is a greatest misconception. That is why it is Mayavad. Nothing is transformation of mode of goodness. All everything, the Supreme Lord Himself and all the objects paraphernalia which He uses, which are in connection with Him, all are manifestation of His spiritual energy, Chit Shakti, not the transformation of material modes of nature, but transformation of spiritual energy, spiritual mode of nature, Vishuddha Sattva. But the Mayavadis, they do not accept it because of being influenced by the mode of ignorance. Okay, that's any other question? If soul can adjust and be in every situation, then why the punishment of hell hurts the soul? So punishment never hurts the soul. Soul is completely unaffected. That is what is stated in this verse. Nanam chindanti sastrani nanam prati pavana. It is just to reform the living entity from his bad misconception that I can be like Supreme Lord. So this is reformation. The punishments in the hell is for the reformation of the misconception or false ego of the living entity, uh, not to kill that living entity. The soul is never affected. Okay. Hare Krishna. So you are curious to know more about this universe. But actually knows about the universe. Even Lord Brahma doesn't know how this universe is created. Lord Brahma is just simply an instrument who is acting as per the dictation, knowledge given by the Supreme Lord. He manifests everything, but even he doesn't know exactly how this universe is created. So who else can know? Only and only the Supreme Lord Krishna knows exactly what is exactly this universe. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita and elsewhere also it is mentioned, this universe is nothing but the Supreme Lord Himself. That's why it is inconceivable. As much as the Supreme Lord is inconceivable, nobody can conceive of it. Similarly, His material nature, universe is also inconceivable. Markandeya Rishi, after performing great austerities for 180 crores of years, when the Supreme Lord appeared, he asked that, what do you want? He said, I want to understand your universe, Maya. The Lord said, my dear Rishi, you are very great soul, great tapasvi, plus but kindly do not enter into the subject matter. You want to be. In fact, nobody can understand. But he desired, no, no, I want. The Lord said, okay, tathastu. Then you know what happened. He has to he has to suffer for many, many millions of years, many yugas when he couldn't understand what exactly this was. Then finally he came close to uh, this Vatapatra. Vatapatra Shai was lying there, Krishna, like a small baby form. He was licking his own lotus feet. And then he prayed, my dear Lord, बस बहुत हो गया आपकी माया ब्रह्मांड को नहीं समझना है आपको बस चाहिए आपका सेवा में लगा that's why okay but we can discuss and we can understand whatever has been mentioned in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam that is sufficient for us to develop love for the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna. Can soul travel miles? Why miles? Many millions of miles. Soul can travel within a fraction of a second. Soul is so subtle. Means without distance limit being in this body when it is born. Within this body it's not possible. But if somebody is desirous of traveling to other planets, he can get a suitable material body using which one can travel, just like Siddhas, those who are Siddhas who live in Siddhaloka. So they have a suitable material body by which they can travel to any part of the universe within a fraction of a second also. But the soul, when it gets liberated from all material conditions, it directly goes to Vaikuntha planets, which is completely unapproachable by even the great rishis, yogis, and siddhas also. Panthast koti vatsara sampragamyo vayur athapi manaso muni pungavana. Muni pungava. The best of the munis, even if they travel with the speed of mind, what to speak of other speeds, the speed of mind also, still if they can go on traveling for many millions and millions of years, still they cannot even reach to the door of the Vaikuntha planet. It is so far, far away. But by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, when one becomes a pure devotee, leaving aside all kinds of material bodies, this gross body, as well as mind, intelligence, and last material element, false ego. When one is completely free from false ego, then within a fraction of second, one can travel back home, back to God, Vaikuntha planet, and be situated there eternally. Hare Krishna. False ego की सुपारी किसको दे false ego की सुपारी देना है हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. If you chant very humbly, thinking yourself to be very insignificant, eternal servant of the Supreme Lord, then this false ego will go away. It will be destroyed over the period of time. Okay. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.